Hi everyone. The next GPspirit face-to-face will be a little bit different, not just because of the guest, who is a really special member of the MotoGP paddock, but also because of the form, as I could reach him on phone, which means you won't see him live, let's say, while talking. But believe me, it's still really, really worthy to listen to his words, because my next guest is founder and the owner of Team Tech3 and also IRTA president, Hervé Poncharal. Hi Hervé, thanks for your time. I start the same way as with everyone, so first of all, how are you? Are you safe, and how is the situation in France?
Nicolette, thank you very much for asking. You know, I think the world is going through, everybody knows, a very, very tough crisis. This is very serious because the impact on the health of the world population is, as we can see every day on TV or reading the news anywhere, is enormous. This is something that never happened to our world. This is, making most of the world population at home without moving, and clearly that will have a huge impact on the economy that some people, I think, at the moment cannot really imagine. And if we want to go back to what unites us and what is our passion and our life, MotoGP racing, for sure there will be a huge impact. On my personal side, thank you very much. You know, my family is fine. I am okay. I'm fine. And all the Tech3 staff are also fine. You know, we liaise every day with them, and they are in good health. But as all of us, and for sure you, Nicolette, too, they are really eager to come back. And the fact that every single day we see the start of the season, delayed and delayed, this is a worry, and we all try to be positive, to do things that will help us to be more competitive, and to do things also to kill the time, not to be too bored.
Sure. I think we are all eager to come back and see racing again, but as everyone said and mentioned actually in all the interviews, and I share this opinion, and I'm pretty sure that you do as well, that health now is the most important thing, and we are facing an unknown situation, and unfortunately the control is not in our hands, right? So yeah, it's not easy. But first question I wanted to ask you actually, how many hours do you spend now daily on the phone?
You know, I am much more an action man than an office guy and somebody who is on the telephone the whole day long. Unfortunately, this situation is not helping us because we are not allowed to travel. So we spend the whole day on the phone. And honestly, let's say from 9:30 in the morning till 7 in the evening, I am almost all my time, except a short spell of freedom for food. The rest is non-stop on the phone. And sometimes, you arrive in the evening, you're happy, you think you have made some progress in order to keep the paddock in a good state. And the next day you see the news and everything you've done the day before is almost to throw away. So, as you know, I am the IRTA president, so I have to take care of the team future. And the team future is not very easy to understand. Clearly, the model of the economy of the paddock, each single team is paid by sponsor and by going races. So if you don't race and the sponsors don't pay you, and you don't get any money. So right now, my main job together with Carmelo Espeleta, Carlos Espeleta, and with my friend Mike Trimby, we are trying to understand how to keep the team, which is our strength in Moto3, Moto2, and of course MotoGP, in a position where they can still keep the company alive and pay the staff. So this is the main mission, and I have to say that having Carmelo as the leader of our paddock, we are very lucky, and we have an open ear, and this is at the moment my main mission.
Exactly. I just wanted to say that you are in a special situation because you are not just the owner of Team Tech3, but you are also IRTA president, which I think not just double of your duties, but maybe gives you, 10 times more work in these days. When was the last time you talked with Carmelo?
Yesterday.
And I guess you're doing it daily basis, right?
Yes. Yeah. We talk every day, with Carmelo once, but with Carlos maybe 5-6 times a day. So, Carmelo and Carlos, they are a team, they're father and son, but they work together. So, yeah, we are exchanging ideas. They are checking the feasibility of these ideas, and most of my phone, not most of my phone, but a lot of my phone time is spent with Carmelo, Carlos Espeleta, and Mike Trimby, also a little bit of Speed Buyer, KTM, my sponsors, Red Bull and Elf. So these are the people I talk most. And of course, I have, and this is really good to see a lot of interview from journalists around the world that care about the future of the MotoGP and want to pass the information and the news of what's happening with MotoGP and what's the future for MotoGP.
I have plenty of questions, but first, clearly, I still would like to talk a bit more about the current situation. How many scenarios have you already discussed? I mean, I can imagine that you are trying to put down different plans, no? I mean, different emergency plans, basically, because as you also said that the situation is changing day by day. So you, the leaders of the MotoGP Championship, and now I'm talking about the GP Commission, how can we imagine this? Do you have a plan for having a championship? And then clearly, who knows with how many races, because the first thing we need to figure out when we can start to travel again. But also, do you have, or are you working already another scenario about not having races this year? Because in the last interview with Carmelo, I could read that he also cannot exclude anymore, let's say, that the possibility that we won't have any races this year.
Okay, so you mentioned GPC, so I would like to say that, the championship is run by 4 bodies. One is the FIM, International Federation, MSMA is Manufacturer Association, of course Dorna is the promoter, and IRTA is the team association. So clearly, everything we do, and every plan we have, and every idea we would like to exchange, we do it in between the 4 bodies, and I have to say that, which is not the case in every sport at the moment, for what I can see, the MotoGP community at the moment is really working like a group, very united, very much united. So this is very positive. Clearly, we were in Qatar a few weeks ago, and when we were in Qatar, we thought maybe we have to postpone 2 races, and then we can go and eventually, replace the race that will have been postponed and have our 19 races left. Of course, after a few days fly back from Qatar, we understood how much the situation was evolving in the bad way, how difficult the situation would be. So we started to, postpone Thailand, USA, Argentina. Now this is what we've done also for, Jerez, Le Mans, Mugello. Clearly the situation, as you say, is evolving day by day. But I would say, back from Qatar, we were very positive. We could have had a minimum of 17, 18 races. Today, as we spoke, I think, of course, Winston Churchill was saying to govern is to foresee. So we have to foresee and we have to imagine different scenarios. So I would say that the most positive scenario, which unfortunately I don't believe a lot, but I really hope, the most positive scenario is 10 races. So anybody who has in mind that we will have more than 10 races with the current situation and the current, regulation and with the ban on traveling before everything is going to be open for the whole world, it will take time. So I believe 10 races would be fantastic. And if that could happen, we would be, I think, very lucky at the end of 2020. But of course, on the other side of the scale, worst case scenario is, as you said, no race in 2020, a zero race in 2020. And I don't want to be pessimistic. And I think we always have to pass some positive message to the world. But it is a high possibility that we don't have any race. I think, unfortunately, the virus is still spreading, is still evolving. Before we go back to an open life in terms of gathering, in terms of traveling, it will take a long, long, long time. And as you know, the paddock is made of so many different nationalities. We have people from Hungary, we have people from France, from Spain, from Germany, from Italy, from USA, from Australia, from Japan, from Austria. Anyway, all the nationalities we have in the paddock. And until these people are allowed to travel all together free to a place, I think it will take a lot of time. So if we go to the worst case scenario, which is no racing, clearly there will be a huge problem to face for Dorna, the first, because Dorna also will not have any income. For the teams, I think the manufacturer and the team belonging to manufacturer, the factory team will have problems, but they will survive. But I mean, for the Moto3 grid, the Moto2 grid, and the MotoGP independent team, this will be a question of survival. Will we survive? And right now, our main mission, as I said, with Carmelo, Carlos, Mike Trumby, and everybody on board, my main mission is together with them to think what can be done in case we have no race, to keep our staff with a decent salary in order to be able to restart in 21, with the organization we're having. Because if we let the company die, collapse, if we let the staff go, it will be so much more difficult to rebuild everything from scratch. And Carmelo knows that absolutely 100%. So, if we have some races, I don't want to say how many, but that will be a big gift and that will help us because at least some sponsor will have some visibility. We will show goodwill to the TV. We will have, done a big step. But if ever we have zero race, clearly we need to go in survival mode. But survival mode, you need to have somebody helping financially. And I think we are gifted and lucky to have Dorna, but as you know, Dorna is owned by Bridgepoint, which is a hedge fund, and I think these people are not only financial people, they are financial people with an incredible open mind and good heart. So we are trying to see what can be done because everybody is suffering with this incredible crisis. So we understand we cannot have crazy requests, but now we are sharing all together what could be the minimum and what could be spent. Our main mission is to try to survive. It is a very difficult situation. Also, I think 2020 is the big shock, but 2021 won't be easy also because there will be a lot of companies that will still recover from the tough 2020, and for sure everybody will have to think about a new, I don't want to say new life, but a way to have the same show by costing less. We need to keep our strength, which is an incredible show, but we need to do that with less budget.
Sure.
And this is what also we are working on.
I think that one of the things that we could see already happening in Formula One, for example, that they decided something like weeks ago that they will use the 2020 cars also in 2021.
We decided that already. Straight back from Qatar, we decided with the support from everyone, FIM, MSMA, IRTA and Dorna, we have been freezing the spec of engine and aerodynamics of every single manufacturer. And this is what we will race in 20, if ever we race. But this is what we will be racing the whole year long in 21 in order to help the manufacturer not to spend any money at all in R&D during the 2021 winter. And in order for them to give a much cheaper lease fee to the independent team. So this is already in place. So the bikes that were testing in Qatar earlier are the bikes that are going to do 20, if ever there is a 20, and 21. And I can tell you a scoop. We are now working with all the technical guys involved inside Dorna, IRTA, FIM to freeze also the Moto2 and Moto3 spec in order to use the 2020 machine in 21 for Moto3 and Moto2 class. Same reason why to reduce the cost drastically. So I think this is already behind us. So this is something that will save and help the manufacturer and the team to carry on without spending too much. But we need to find some more saving again.
Yeah, we can know that the biggest cost for the teams are the bikes. I mean, even if you are a factory team and you have to develop them, or you are a private team and you have to lease.
Bike or rider?
Yeah, actually, this is where I wanted to arrive. So the second biggest cost normally are the riders. And in Formula One, again, with this example, we could see already teams cutting also the salaries of the riders as well. And a couple of weeks ago, I had an interview with Simone Battistella, and he said that he thinks, at least at that time back, that in MotoGP the rider's salary is safe. What do you think?
You know, when you see the whole world going through this tough time, when you see how many people are suffering, when we talk about some people not receiving any salary and being even not able to pay the rent of their flat and the food, which is happening. Sometimes you have to open your eyes. But, you know, I believe almost nobody in the paddock, I'm talking about staff, will keep his salary as it was planned when we started 2020. So, I cannot see, and I don't think it will be a problem for most of our riders, or I would say all our riders, especially the top one, that most of them have got a big heart, and for sure they are fighter on track, but they are also fighter to get the best contract possible, and this is human, and I respect completely. But in the circumstances of today, what the world is going through, I can't see anybody getting, the full salary or support he was supposed to have. But anyway, talking about riders, it's very difficult to understand because they have a base fee and then they have bonuses. They have a lot of things that can make their income changing drastically. So, I'm not here to talk about riders, but I believe our riders are good people, human beings. Every time there was a big problem, I saw, they've been donating things to help the people. So I'm pretty sure our heroes, which are our riders, will not only help and support individual only, you know, their hospital, local, or the people who deserve and need help, but also if ever they are asked by their employer to have a pay cut, I'm pretty sure they will understand and they will do it. So, you know, I think all our heroes, all our riders are not only fast riders, but they are good people, good men. Talking about the new term of 22 to 26, everything we've been deciding has to be almost thrown away.